Infiltrate. This one's a doozy, an old augment for Ivara. It's for her Prowl ability, which is one of, if not the best singular ability in the game. If you looked at this ability in a vacuum with no other mods or outside liars, you would see that it is a very tremendous ability. What is the ability that the augment works for? And then we'll get into the augment. The ability itself drains energy, which scales with duration, so you can have less cost with duration or efficiency. It has a range, and the range is for stealing loot, which the range scales with range, the loot scales with power strength up to 100. There's also steal time, which the steal time is scaling with duration, so the higher your duration, the less time it takes to steal. And it has a headshot multiplier, which scales with power strength. So that's the long and short of Prowl. Now let's look at the augment. The augment is, it lets you bypass lasers and it gives you a movement speed. Every single time I see a YouTuber cover this augment or anyone talk about it, they always act like the primary function is avoiding lasers. No, wrong. Not smart. You don't know what you're talking about. You're foolish. It makes me ashamed to even speak with you or to exist on the same planet with you. You're wrong. Admit it. Stop coping. So what the main function of this ability is, in fact, the movement speed. This augment is for baby's first spy frame. They don't have Wukong, or they don't have a faster spy frame, or maybe they just like playing Ivara, maybe they want to do scans. But like I said, it's for baby's first spy frame, and it's for Chad Sigma Stallion Ting cool guy. I need the movement speed because I know what I'm doing. I'm very smart. Now, you may be asking yourself, why would you use the augment when you can use an arcane slot for it? A lot of people say, like, oh, use which arcane? There's a couple different arcanes that can do it. Off the top of my head, Arcane Consequence comes to mind. This is a very common one people say to use. Mine's not fully leveled. I sold the one that was fully leveled because it's fucking trash. I spit on it. It's trash, garbage. Don't use it. So the reason I say not to use an arcane slot is because our arcanes are much too valuable. We have Arcane Avenger, we have Arcane Energize, we have Arcane Vigor, or Molt Vigor, we have Molt Efficiency, Molt Augmented. Our slots in the arcane are much too busy, but pretty much every single Ivara in existence has an augment slot available, or at least one flex slot. Now, you may be asking yourself, why not just use Empowered Quiver or Concentrated Arrow? And to that I say, yeah, maybe for baby's first level cap. I'm not a baby. This is an endgame. This is for babies first, and it's for endgame players. If you need Empowered Quiver to effectively kill stuff and get the extra critical chance or critical damage, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't need that. I can kill stuff by myself in a single shot without using this trash. So, additionally, you may be asking yourself, why not use Concentrated Arrow? Again, my weapons can kill everything. I don't need anything else. I don't need this trash. So we're not using it. These are good augments, and I think that's what augments should do, right? Compete for a slot. All of these augments, you earn a slot, but most people think Infiltrate does not. So, another reason why not to use Arcane Consequence. Arcane Consequence, or whatever the arcanes are, they affect slowly your parkour movement speed. That is not the same as movement speed in general. We're going to go over what that means in just a second. So, this is the normal brisk walking pace, and then this is it with Prowl. So we are losing a little bit of speed, but this is Prowl with the augment. Oh my god, when you see it without the augment, you're going to poop. It's going to be everywhere. So, another little bonus it has is this is me aiming. I'm aim walking. Aim walking is its own thing. There are mods for it. And now I'm aim walking with Prowl. Now we are moving faster than the base movement speed. This is faster than this. So already an unwritten effect. Another thing that it affects is your crouch speed. Faster crouch speed. Ooh. It's also your back handsprings are better. Ooh, yeah, because everybody uses back handsprings, right? Additionally, it also affects your aim glide speed and jump kick distance. But these are only gaining additional distance because of like the momentum mechanic in the game. Jump kicking, I can't really do jump kicks, to be honest. I can't even remember how to do them, but it does affect jump kicks, whatever the fuck that is. Check the wiki. Maybe the wiki will tell you how to jump kick. I don't really give a shit. I use my guns. But One of the main reasons you're using this augment is because it affects your rolling distance. Yes, movement speed affects your rolling distance. So while arcane velocity or whatever the fuck it was will give you better parkour, so you'll get more distance, the augment is affecting your movement speed while walking. It's affecting your glide speed. It's affecting your crouch speed. It's affecting your back handsprings, and it's affecting your aiming while gliding, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So it's affecting a lot more than just one thing. Additionally, of course, it is boosting your movement speed when you're on these wires, so you move at a very brisk pace. You can sprint on the wires, but if you're sprinting on the wire and then you'll jump, it kicks you out. So a good tech is to get on the wire, be sprinting, and then stop sprinting right before you jump. Sprinting, stop sprinting, jump. Otherwise, if you're sprinting and then you jump, it'll kick you out. That is a downside of Prowl, of course, is that if you slide, if you bullet jump, it'll kick you out. So that's why we're stuck in the slow movement speed ability of Prowl without the augment. So we're going to take the augment off for a second so that we can see how tremendously, disgustingly slow. It's slow. The movement speed tech for this to get around more efficiently is to roll, jump, roll, jump, roll, jump. Maybe you want to roll, jump, jump, roll, jump, jump. But you're doing a lot of rolling and jumping. And with the augment, it's not much different. You're still moving around like that. But another reason I think that this is better than the arcane that increases your parkour, like only does the parkour stuff, is because, at least for me, like, do you fucking play this game? Really, do you play this game? You understand that a lot of the tile sets in this game are in congested spaceship hallways. If you're rolling, and your roll speed is like insanely long, you're just constantly getting stuck into walls. You're not getting the movement speed buff you think you're getting because you're rolling into walls. And sure, you may say, "Oh, we'll get better at the game. It's on you." Well, you're coping because you're using a fucking arcane for that trash. You're just coping to begin with, so we're not going to address that. This ability is much better. The augment, I should say, is much better than using an arcane. Part of another little addition to this thing is that it's supposed to, with every 50 power strength, it's supposed to give you 6.25 movement speed. It doesn't really seem to work that way. So theoretically, at 200% power strength, you should be moving your normal movement speed. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if it's just the normal Ivara and not the prime. But so theoretically, we should be. This is the normal brisk movement speed. Theoretically, now that we're 219 or whatever it is, since at 200% speed or strength, you should be able to have Prowl move at the exact same speed. It does seem a little slower though. So I don't know if it's just normal Ivara. But again, if you take off overextended, you're going to be even faster with this, which is great. So this, again, is for Baby's First Spy Frame and for Endgame Chad Sigma, Chaddington, Sigma Brain, Alpha Cock, big penis guy like me. So a part of it too is I don't need Empowered Quiver. I don't need Baby's First Level Cap fucking augment because I can just one-shot everything. So I don't need Baby's First Level Cap augment. I'm not a baby. So this may not be an augment for you, but I think it is a massive quality of life augment for one of her best abilities. Another reason I use it is because I like to be mobile in the fight. For Baby's First Level Capper, they're going to equip the crit wire, and they're going to sit on the crit wire all day. If they're smart, they'll do it above a doorway. Say that's a doorway, they'll just do it right here. That way they can loot stuff as they come in, or loot enemies as they come in, and they can clear another hallway. But that's Baby's First Level Cap, and that's not fun or engaging. Whereas walking around, doing combat, like doing hood rat shit, this is fun. I use rolling guard on her because I like to be in combat. Most people don't use rolling guard on her because they think like, oh, well, I'm just going to be on a crit wire all day. That's not fun or engaging. I think that you can make her a lot more fun and engaging by using this augment. And it's not as fun to use Arcane Consequence because I find myself rolling into walls. You may be saying to yourself, oh, it's on the player. You got to get better. Bro, I'm like god tier at movement at this game, and sometimes at those tight corners, there's so much geometry in some of these places, some of these tile sets. You're going to get hung up on stuff. You're going to get stuck. It gets really annoying, and I don't have that issue when I'm using the augment. Plus, now that we have arcane slots free, I can loot shit insanely fast. You don't even see it loot them. So it's much better augment than people give it credit for. It affects more than what people give it credit for. It's not a bad augment. I think it's a tremendous augment that allows you to get the most out of one of the best abilities in the game. And that's what it's all about, right? When you're playing Ivara, you're mainly in Prowl most of the time, so why not make your best ability even better? And another little example, or another little tidbit about Prowl itself is, see how I'm activating, you see the circle around me? That's your looting range, so that's part of why I use Overextended, so that I can really get the most of her abilities, because it's more fun that way, and I have an engaged playstyle where I'm in the combat, I'm in the thick of it, I'm not a baby on her crit wire. So, again, in closing, the main uses for this is Baby's First Spy Frame and God tier Big Cock Sigma Chad Stallion Tin Rex Big Cock Giant Cock player like myself. So if you found this video informative, or if you had any opinions at all of this video, the only way you can let me know that is if you donate to a charity, maybe like a homeless shelter or something like that. I'm not kidding you, dude. The only way you can let me know that you found any type of feelings or emotions or anything at all from this video is if you donate. So get on that post haste. Bye.